We just hit 3 million downloads.
That's awesome.
Audio downloads talking about a lawn care business.
Congratulations, Steve.
Thank you.
When it really made the big turn was with the Laser Z in 95. And then, our growth, since then has just been off the charts. With that radius, it takes me longer to edge and trim than it does mow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What kind of stripes do you lay, or diagonal or pattern? What's your yard looking like?
That's the important thing that we try to talk about is total cost of ownership. If you're doing less maintenance, if you have fewer breakdowns, if you don't have to double cut, those type of things, those are all things that reduce the overall cost of the equipment. Whether it's, you have this year's Laser Z or you have an old standard 5-speed from 1987. Mm-hmm. There's somebody there that whatever the part of it is, they can walk you through and help you figure out and get that thing going to your expectations. Now with battery and autonomous, it's just like, we've gone from 3 years to where there's maybe, 1 or 2 people out there really, really talking about it to now everybody's, dove into the deep end of the pool. People may forget what you did. They'll never forget how you made them feel.
That's right. Hey guys, welcome to Exmark. I'm hanging out with Lenny today. He's been working at Exmark for 26 years. And you've been whining and dining. So I'm going to look like a Nebraska Cornhusker offensive lineman here with the filet last night, brisket today. Thanks for the wonderful experience.
Oh man, absolutely. We're so thankful for you guys to come out and experience what it is. Equipment's one thing, but to get you guys out and get you in front of our people and be able to see and talk to them, we just think that's such a powerful message.
Yeah. So to put a little context to what's going on, Keith Kalfas is here. Brian's Fullerton from Brian's Lawn Maintenance, Jason Creole, he brought his wife. It's their 14th year anniversary. And then Blake brought his wife, Natalie, from B&B Lawn Care. So there's 5 of us here, and we're in the wonderful state of Nebraska, my first time ever here.
Well, welcome.
So last night I got to see Lincoln Memorial Stadium.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where Tom Osborne and the Nebraska Cornhuskers were something else in the 90s.
Yeah, absolutely. It was... I was going to school there then, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, you guys had 3-4 years where it was just you were on top.
Yeah.
And then I don't know what happened.
Coaching changes just and bad management. They just eat you up, man.
Yeah, well, you thankfully have great management here and a culture where you've been here for 26 years. Other folks have been here for 15 years, 10 years with the intention of sticking around. So. Mm-hmm. Share with us a little bit about the story. I know on my coffee cup y'all gave me, it said 1982. I'm assuming that's when it all started?
Yeah. So here in Beatrice, Nebraska, 1982, 3 gentlemen broke off from another company and formed what is now known as Exmark in a little garage on the south side of town, and started with just walk-behind mowers and have built from there. And from 82 really to about the early 90s, it was kind of a small, slowly growing company. And
was it always focused on the professional market, or? Yes,
always has been. Yeah, we didn't delve into residential mowers really until I'd say within the last 10, 12 years, maybe 15 years. So yeah, all the way through, it was all about commercial mowers, and then when it really made the big turn was with the Laser Z in 95, and then. Our growth, since then has just been off the charts.
And then was it 97 when the acquisition?
Yeah, late in 97 is when we were acquired by the Toro Company. And, that has really allowed us to continue that growth, having the support of such a large corporation behind you like that. And at the same time, they've allowed us to be extremely autonomous and say, hey, look, you guys have it figured out down there. We don't want to mess with it. So you guys keep doing what you're doing. When you need money, come ask, basically, right? Or you need resources, come ask. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, that's absolutely fantastic. And since I've been here, you guys have just showed us so much hospitality, and it's just been incredible. I know Brian had mentioned in a meeting this morning, we've been blessed to get to go to these different facilities and see the tours. But what really makes the difference here is the people and the community. And Darren, I didn't know titles or whatever, but he was just, hey, I'm Darren. And I was like, oh, cool. He was talking college football,
Yeah.
And then I found out today he's like the running the show.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you guys were just, you can't tell, everybody's on the same page.
It is. And, I think that's the important thing. And it's why people stay, is because if you're valued, you feel like your voice has a voice and you can make a difference, then, and it's a fun place to work. Why would you not want to stay? Even though, I think Darren said it this morning, right? Hey, look, we all work together, but, we're a family and, we fight, but it's respectful. And we all know that what we're fighting for is the greater good of Exmark and for our customers. And so that's what, we're all pointed in the same direction. That's what really helps.
What kind of mower do you have at your house, Lenny?
So what I have is a Navigator 48 that I mow the yard with the majority of the time. And then recently I brought home a Radius 2-blade 48 with a mulch kit on it. And I'm liking that more and more every time I.
How big is your property?
It's the whole with house and everything. It's right at an acre. Okay. So I've got plenty of mower. I can get done with that Radius. I can get done. It takes me longer to edge and trim than it does mow.
Wow.
So, yeah.
What kind of stripes do you lay, or diagonal or pattern? What's your yard looking like?
So what I always do is I've got kind of a 3-pattern system. I'll go up and down one time, then I'll go. Kind of a catty corner the other time, and then I'll mow my house that's kind of on a slant, and then I'll mow with that slant. So I get, a little bit of that X, cross stripe pattern.
Yeah, like Jeremy up there in Illinois.
Yeah, hey, that's another level. He's on a different plane than I am. But my wife actually gets mad at me because she's like, I've got 3 boys, and outside of when I bring home a push mower once in a while, they don't mow. I let them weed eat and stuff, but she's like, these guys got to learn how to mow. I'm like, no, that's mine, and I'll get mad at them, so I'm not even willing to let them learn there. Hey, look, if they want to go learn, they can go learn on one of the neighbor's properties or something like that.
Yeah, no, I get it. What would you say to someone who owns a lawn care business? Exmark's clearly not the cheapest. It's a big investment, but what's the benefit of having an Exmark mower?
Kind of twofold. One of it, we talk about the total cost of ownership. Mm-hmm. So, when you look at it, that initial cost of the equipment, and don't get me wrong, it's significant, right? Let's say you own a mower for 2 or 3 years. Even in 2 years, it's 15% of the total ownership of a machine, right? That's the important thing that we try to talk about is total cost of ownership. If you're doing less maintenance, if you have fewer breakdowns, if you don't have to double cut, those type of things, those are all things that reduce the overall cost of the equipment. And then the other one is the Exmark experience. That's, our customer service group. So let's face it, when you have a machine, especially as a commercial landscaper, at some point it's going to break down, or you're going to have, it's not going to do something exactly what you want to do. And being able to talk to, our 1,500 dealers nationwide, so you have a dealer close to you, our distributors that have TMs. We have 100 and some TMs, territory managers, across the country. And then as you get up to the next level, we've got distributor service managers that can go out and they can get on property with you. And then our customer service team. I think there's about 10 people back there, and really the service technicians themselves. So we always say, I think they have over 150 years of combined Exmark experience. And that's over 10 people. I think you take out kind of the support staff of them, it's probably 6 people with like 100 and some, years of service. So those guys have so much tribal knowledge of Exmark. So whether it's, you have this year's Laser Z, or you have an old standard 5-speed from 1987, there's somebody there that whatever the part of it is, they can walk you through and help you figure out and get that thing going to your expectations. 26 years in this industry, you've seen the progression, not just at Exmark, but just the mowing in general. Now there's so much going electric and things of that nature. How's that been for you to watch over the years, and what's your honest thoughts of where the industry's going from here? You bet. So, I can remember, when I started, I remember the first, for me, the first wow moment of something new was the external heavy duty air filters on engines. That was always, kind of the weak link on engines was those old air filters, and so there was that. And then, like for us, the semi-pneumatic tires and, no flat tires and things like that, those were all they were kind of gradual bumps is what you've seen. And now with battery and autonomous, it's just like, we've gone from 3 years to where there's maybe, one or two people out there really, really talking about it to now everybody's, dove into the deep end of the pool. It's exciting because it's not often when you can be in an industry that's going through such a transformational phase to be able to witness that firsthand and have some influence on that is really pretty cool.
I was trying the mower out there, and then I went to grab the pull card, and I was like, where is it? And I was like, oh, wait a minute. I pushed this button.
I mean, that's, we were out there, and I think it was Brian was, having me mowing while he was doing some filming or whatever. And, I had my hearing protection in. He had his hearing protection in, and I'm going by him, and he says something, and I look over at him, and he's like, you can hear me? I'm like, yeah, I can hear you, dude. And so it is. And so you'd said earlier about where I think it is. I think there's a couple of layers to that, right? With autonomous, let's face it, labor, and it doesn't matter if it's wait staff, to getting people to operate mowers. Everybody is still continuing to feel that labor crunch. And so anything that we can do to solve that, and it doesn't just mean autonomous. I mean, if you look, the 30-inch mower, it's about labor. The 144, it's about labor, and but with autonomous, getting that out there, and I think it's all in the learn mode right now, right? I think you've got some guys that are, they're going to a market. I think personally, and this is not Exmark's opinion, maybe, and maybe it is, I don't know, but personally, I feel like they're jumping the gun a little bit, and I'm a little nervous, because when you have, if you push technology out there too soon, you can really set things back, and, I think we've seen that with some of the, you've had some accidents with some of the autonomous cab, and you hear different stuff all the time. And I feel like we're in a good place. We're in that learning phase. Get it in front of some people. We'll continue to learn. And when we ultimately bring that out to the general public, it'll be, that's the thing, is that we want to make sure when we bring it out, it does what it's supposed to do the first day, the 50th day, the 500th day, the 5,000th day. And I'm not so sure that the industry is at that 500 or 5,000th day yet.
Yeah, so. That's very well said. So what's your day look like working here? I know today's an irregular day. You guys are putting on the Nebraska hospitality hats and feeding us. I probably gained 6 pounds. We had a filet steak last night that was so tender. I'm not sure where the beef was from, but probably local.
Oh, it's got to be Nebraska beef. Yeah,
it was delicious, and we just had brisket. I had an omelet for breakfast. I've just been eating all this food, so I was on a diet and a workout regimen before I came, and I might go apply for the Nebraska offensive line here, Lenny. I think I gained 7 pounds. But so I know this isn't a typical day, but what do you do kind of day in and day out? So,
usually every morning I come in, and kind of process. The first thing I do, process, through the day before. Hey, what did I get done? What did I did not get done? Didn't get done, and then what do I need to accomplish today to make sure my products and projects are moving forward? So I go through a little headspace there. Look at my calendar, make sure I'm set up to be successful. And then I start, whether it's in the meetings, like right now I've got, we've got a couple of projects going on. So 8:30 in the morning, I walk on down to, it's called the Big Blue, and a little conference room, and get together with my group of engineers and sourcing guys and plant manufacturing guys. And we talk about where we're at with the project, any opportunities or any struggles that we're having and how we're going to resolve those. And, just, hey, what was our successes from the last day, the last week? And that's what we always finish up with. And, hey, let's go out and let's continue to move forward the next day. And so I'll do that. And then, we're always coming back through, and whether it's new products or, because like for us, for a product manager, you own what's called the life cycle of a product, right? So from its infancy to where we're dreaming it up to where we go to production, and then as we need to continue to improve it and change it as we go forward, and then finally, hey, you know what, this machine just doesn't meet customer satisfactions anymore, and you sunset the machine. So the rest of my day is working through that, whether it's what's the next thing we need to do to the machine. That's kind of my internal when we're here. The other thing that I love doing, other than working with our project team, is when I get to go, I get to either take a new product that's under development or a current product, and we go out and we get in front of customers and we just watch them, And so the whole idea is to get feedback. And what we've really learned is you really have to pay attention, because you almost get more. And this is, just working with people in general. You get more from the nonverbal communication, right? Than you do from what they're actually going to tell you. So, if they're out there mowing and you see them struggling with something, you're like, okay, so you make note of that. And because when they come back, let's face it, it's a new mower. Hey, what'd you think? Oh, dude, this is awesome. And like, well, I seen you down there. What happened? And then they'll get into, well, what happened was this. And I was like, oh, okay. All right. So, you work through that and figure out how you can make the machine more intuitive so that doesn't happen. Right. And that's, honestly, that's the coolest part of this job. So, yeah.
What's your plans, Lenny, for Equip Expo week? Are you going to be up in Louisville?
Yeah, so I will be in Louisville. I think I fly in Monday morning, so then fly out Friday evening. So, we'll get in and we all get together and we start bringing equipment over, shining it all up so it looks great for you guys, and getting the booth and the outdoor booth all set up. We don't do as much of it anymore. It used to be, we assembled our booth by ourselves.
Oh, wow.
And, the problem is the reality of it is it's actually less expensive for the guys that make the booth. They can come in there and they know exactly how it goes together. So then we don't have guys, now you've got 8 less people with a hotel room and meals and everything else. But I'm telling you, back in the day when we used to assemble everything, that was, camaraderie building, some of the funnest stuff that we used to ever do. But yeah, so anyway, we come in, we still completely set up our outside booth. We hammer the stakes into the ground and we have a great time. And, then we'll go and we'll have some fellowship in the evening, and get to bed and wake up and do it all over the next day. And then was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, we start off with, at Expo, I think we start off with dealers.
In the morning, yeah.
In the morning, the dealers come in. And then, for me in this role, what it used to be when I was in service, it was just constantly talking to customers. Hey, what do you like? What you don't like? What problems are you having? Oh, well, hey, here, this is what you got to do. And now for me, now it's a little bit more, I talk with a lot of you guys, get involved with the media people and everything else. But still, when I get all of that to the side, especially outside, because we don't have to do much of that outside, and you get to really talk to people, that's an awesome experience. Yeah,
and stay tuned. I'll have an announcement of the actual time, but Emily asked me to come to the booth again. So the last few years, Brian and Jeremy and Blake and Keith and a whole bunch of you guys kind of space it out, but we do little meet and greets and give away swag and all kind of stuff. So I'll let you know what time I'll specifically be there, but that's been a lot of fun the last couple of years doing meet and greets and stuff at your booth. So it's been popping last couple of years. It's been really crazy. I think we gave out t-shirts and hats 2 years ago, and it was pretty fun.
Yeah.
And then last year, Brian, man, he had a line wrapped around the thing. It was impressive. So
it's so cool. We've talked here forever about one mower. One mower doesn't affect one person, right? That mower, when we sell it, it affects the whole corporation. When our distributor sells it, it affects the, 30 to 50 to 100 people in there. Down to the dealer, it affects, the 5 to 500 people involved in the dealership, and then the end customer, right? So whether it's a one-man operation, even a one-man operation, because it affects everybody that he works for, right? So all of his properties. And so understanding how important that is. And when I see the way, that's what struck me so much about when I seen all those people come to see you guys, is just the profound effect that you have on so many lives through what you guys do. It's just awesome.
We just crossed Lenny on this podcast, which we obviously talk about a lawn care business. If you don't own, I was getting coffee where I live, and this woman come up to me and her boyfriend or whatever. It's like, yeah, we're doing a drive and we're listening to you. And I'm thinking, well, they have nothing to do. The guy is a soccer coach. And his girlfriend. Yeah, it was a good episode. And I was like, the show's for lawn care business owners. But anyway, we had just hit 3 million downloads.
That's awesome.
Audio downloads talking about a lawn care business.
Congratulations, dude.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Which is wild. But how many years have you been going to Equip?
Oh boy. Well, let's see. I've been here 26. So I didn't go the first couple of years. So out of that 26 years, I've probably been there 20.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it's really got momentum the last few years. And I think it's because of Brian Fullerton and Blake and Keith and all the social media influencers saying, hey, we're going to be there. Come hang out with us, because the attendance is spiking off. I got an email today. Their record, they have more signups at this point than they did last year, which was the record year last year. So it's on pace to be another record-breaking year attendance-wise. But what would you say to somebody who's been hearing people talk about this Equip Expo in Louisville? What would you say to someone who's on the fence about making the sacrifice to come for the first time this year?
You have to go. So there are things that you've got to do to move your business forward, right? Was it you or maybe it might have been Brian earlier today? Is it, hey, look, you can move fast or you can move forward. And so if you, hey, I'm too busy doing this to do something that'll help me improve my business, it's going to be, you're going to move fast. You're not going to necessarily move forward. Those type of things, whether it's the expo or, getting involved with, whether it's a local, regional, or, a national group of landscape guys, or just business people, whether it's a business network group in your town, you've got to make time for that. And expo is one of those things, again, you can go to the dealerships, and our dealers they just do a phenomenal job of presenting our equipment, giving that knowledge. But you know what? There's that other layer about having that, in-depth knowledge. This is why we did this. I think they can talk to really well, and some of them can probably talk to why we did it better than we can. But knowing the process, knowing the people behind that, getting a business card, from whether it's a manufacturer or you go there. Oh, hey, where are you from? You're from Ohio too? Oh, hey, well, and you get a business card, and you can share, because and we do the same thing. We go over and we talk to the competitive guys, and hey, how's it going? And because look, in the end, we all want to be successful. Competition helps make us successful. And you know what? If your best competitor is lousy, it really makes it difficult for you to get better, right? Mm-hmm. So, just having those connections, because you never know. Hey, my doggone Exmark held up for 3 straight years. Now all of a sudden, we've had 7 days of rain, and I'm way back behind, and my mower broke down. And hey, now I got to contact. Brother, can you help me out? Mm-hmm. And this industry is so tight. There's so much brotherhood. Mm-hmm. They're going to help you out,
Yeah, totally. Well, I really appreciate your time, Lenny. I appreciate the hospitality since we arrived. Omaha is like an hour from when we went to Lincoln. Then we came to Beatrice. How do you say it?
Beatrice.
Yeah. Which is a town of how many people?
13,000. Yeah.
Okay. I used to live in Gwinnett County, which was over 1 million. In just my little county, which is a suburb of Atlanta. So 13,000. I was telling Emily, I want to buy a plot of land and just move out here. It's so peaceful. The culture here is everyone's so nice. It's safe. I was walking to the Nebraska Cornhusker Stadium last night, and it was safer than Atlanta. We'll put it that way.
Yeah. Going to like Nebraska, going to the Cornhusker, going to Memorial Stadium, it's always, we always greatest fans on earth. But I think what I'm more proud of is we're typically known as, maybe the nicest fans on earth. I've been to, and I've never really had a bad experience, but it's just so cool when, hey, what are you doing? Get in here, have a beverage with us. Hey, do you need some brisket? Here, have a brisket. Or, it's
I
a
like
lot of
them
fun.
Alabama fans. Jason's here, man. He thinks the SEC anything outside the SEC is Minor leagues in his brain.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, they got some darn good food down there too, man.
Yeah, had good football. So
yeah.
I'm single, so they might got some ladies down there too. So
there's a rumor.
Alabama, well, Auburn. My producer telling me I got to go to an Auburn game to find my wife, but Alabama, Auburn. We'll see. But I digress. I wanted to say thank you for the hospitality, Lenny. Is there anything we're leaving out here that you want to share with my audience about Exmark and the reason you brought us out and made such an investment in our community doing this 2-day extravaganza?
Yeah, I think the big thing is we want you to see the people. Right. The fun part, honestly, is getting out and getting to experience the equipment. But I think the lasting memory is going to be the people. And, that was one of the things my old boss, when I was in service, he had a saying that, people may forget what you did. They'll never forget how you made them feel.
That's right. And,
we were talking earlier about what guys can do. Labor's tough. And that's just it. Hey, you might give them an extra $50 at the end of the day, and they'll appreciate that $50. But if it's $50 that they needed to get through that next week, they won't forget because how that made them feel. Or, you know what? Hey, that was a job very well done, and just making sure that you're being appreciative of people, empowering them as much as they can, always playing to their strengths. If you're a great string trimmer guy, if you can lay that string trim on the side and edge like nobody else can, dude, there's nothing wrong that you're not moving from string trimmer guy to aerator guy or, running the rider. Just always making sure that everybody has a place and every place is just as important as the other. So
cool. Well, thank you so much, Lenny. And for you guys who haven't been to the Equip Expo, you can come meet Lenny for yourself. Come up to the Exmark booth, give him your honest feedback, the good, bad, and the ugly. And we were talking about that on Brian's podcast last night. Blake and I, you guys genuinely, I know you said more is caught by watching us with the equipment than asking us, but you genuinely ask us. I had a couple of people, at dinner last night. Hey, what do you think? Genuinely you care and we'll make the adjustment based on what we said. So that's really cool.
Yeah. When we go out and do voice of customer, always try to listen first, but my first question always is, what did you not like or what didn't you care for? So want to know that first. So make sure that you can get that up front and then, hey, look, we can move from there. So
cool. And exciting things. We saw today that some of this will be at Equip, the new stuff we're not allowed to talk about. But you'll have some stuff at Equip or? Yeah,
we there was 4 or 5 things out there that will be debuting at Equip that we think a couple of them can really be difference makers to guys, whether applications or in the maintenance game. And we're excited to show it. And even more over than just this year, just knowing what we have coming down the pipe, the next really 3 years. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Nice. Well, thanks for your time, Lenny. And when you guys are at the Equip Expo, come on up to the Exmark booth and tell Lenny, put a face to the name. If you're not watching on YouTube, ask for Lenny and say, hey, I heard you on Paul's podcast. So thank you for your time. I know you're working, so I'll let you get back to it.
Hey, anytime. We again, like I said, this is my favorite thing to do is reach out and talk to customers. So we appreciate you guys coming up, Paul. It's been awesome.
Thanks for the hospitality. And I'll be, other than when they play Ohio State this year, if they play Ohio State, I'm not sure if they're on the schedule.
I don't think so. We got Michigan, but I don't think we got Ohio State.
Okay, well, then you're going to have to get to the Big Ten championship. But until then, I'm not trying to be sarcastic.
That might be a stretch.
Until that, no, you have Matt Rule.
Yeah. Hey, look, we're excited. We're excited. So,
but until I'm going to be cheering for Nebraska. Just the it's a college town. The people are nice. The stadium is massive. So I'm going to be gunning for Nebraska. And if they do happen to make the Big Ten championship, I am a Buckeyes fan. So that go Buckeyes. But until then, go Big Ten. Go Nebraska.
Hey, thank you, brother. Yeah, go Big Red.